Has heard Trump's new call. Look which city they are heading to now. President Trump is holding a rally in Phoenix on Tuesday, and leftist groups are already trying to cause trouble. 14 groups are going to protest the rally and have urged others to book free tickets to attend so that the arena seats are empty. Bikers for Trump, we have nothing in common with white supremacists. But Washington Times reports those protesters didn't count on one thing: bikers. Bikers for Trump's Arizona Cobra chapter put out a call to action to its members saying Donald Trump is coming to the Phoenix Convention Center to hold a rally. There have been plans for Charlottesville sympathizers to protest. We need our bikers to show up and keep people safe. They are supposed to start at 6 p.m. We think we need to be there by at least 4. That is when the doors open. If there are people outside waiting to get in and we don't want anyone to harass them, protesters have a right to protest, but they don't have a right to threaten or intimidate. That is why we need to be there. The groups that plan on protesting the convention center include the Democrat Socialists of Phoenix, Arizona Resist, Desert Progressive, Students for a Democratic Society, Puente, Arizona, and Cosplayers Against Hate. These bikers are tough, and they're not going to be a great line of defense against the creepy and dangerous alt-left protesters. And before the leftists start crying white supremacy, here's a video of the group condemning hate. I'd feel pretty good to the being at the rally, I would assume, knowing these guys were on my side. Share if you love our bikers for Trump. Yes, we certainly do. Let's take a quick listen here.
Racism is evil.
Absolutely.
And those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs.
Absolutely.
Including the KKK,
Absolutely.
neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups.
Notice that they don't allow him to say Antifa. Those are the main problems. It's not even the KKK and all this bull crap. Antifa, the KKK dressed in white, let's say back in the day, and the Antifa dressed in black. So what are they doing? This is all George Soros anyway. I'm sorry.
That are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans.
But you see how they make him speak this way. I'm going to replay it. Listen.
Evil. And those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis,
oh, that's
white
how he said it,
supremacists,
including,
and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as a...
But shouldn't he have said the Antifa? Do you see how they're programming Trump in order not to speak the way he would actually normally speak, like the rest of you guys and I would speak that way? We would point out to all of them and name them. If you're going to name the KKK, name Antifa also while you're at it. You see what I'm saying? But they told him no. And this is the elite, you know, telling, oh no, you're not going to sound presidential.
Americans.
You heard it, President Trump denouncing the white supremacists in Charlottesville. Now, some pro-Trump groups are being...
Again, see, this is what aggravates me. I can't even listen to this, but I'm sorry I'm interrupting you guys. Listen.
...tarred with the same brush as the white supremacists. We're joined now by Chris Cox, founder of Bikers for Trump. Chris, this is you. You turn up with your Harleys, your leather jackets, and you look tough, you're big guys. You're being tarred with the same brush as the white supremacists. What do you say about that?
Well, that's just the same narrative that's been coming out of the left for some time now. We have nothing in common with these groups. We measure our members by their level of patriotism, love for our country, and the support of our president.
Well, do you think you're a little bit provocative, dressing as you do, riding as you do, towards these kind of events?
Well, Stuart, when we show up, we are there to bring peace and calmness to the situation. We're not there to intimidate. We're there to give our president some support, some much-needed support. And these groups like Antifa, the white supremacists, KKK, Black Lives Matter, these are bottom-dwelling scumbags that are trying to perpetuate fear in this country, and we certainly have nothing in common with them. And a lot of people out there don't want to have anything to do with politics. But let me tell you something. Politics will have something to do with you, and people need to get involved, and we need to show our president some support here.
I don't know whether your group was in Charlottesville over the weekend. I don't
No, they
know whether
weren't.
you were there or not. No, you were not. But if you had been there, what would you have done to keep the peace?
Well, we certainly would have stood our ground, and you know, I've had some of our guys call me, and we decided that really wasn't what we were about. We are here to support Donald Trump and his agenda. Okay, we are to push his voice forward, to try to reach out to this demographic, to continue growing. We're looking at almost 500,000 strong now. We're going to be in a position to swing votes. Our main thing is that we want to identify congressional members across the country and senatorial members, and we're going to get their pledge for our president, and we're going to hold them to that pledge, and we're going to help swing that vote and get them in there. But as far as out there and stepping and getting our hands dirty in civil disobedience and really just going against the fabric of this country, that's not what we're about. We've spent a lot of time policing our members. We don't have felons that are serving in leadership positions. We have community leaders out there. We have blue-collar guys. We have evangelical Bikers for Christ. We have veterans and combat veterans in front of our group. So as far as looking into the future, you may see Bikers for Trump at some of these events, but you'll see them on their best behavior, and we certainly won't be taking the law into our own hands. We've got a lot of questions to ask, you know, in Virginia, being a commonwealth that it is, you know, and being told to stand down, that goes against every fiber of a police officer that has given that oath and sworn to serve and to protect, and to have to watch felonies unfolding. It goes against every fiber of the police department and police officers, and our hearts go out to them. We couldn't have more support than them than we do now. And we're going to continue to support police officers around the country. We're going to continue to support our president with unyielding support. And we're excited about the leadership that Donald Trump has exemplified throughout this first 200 days of his candidacy and his presidency. And we couldn't be more excited because we see a bright future for our country under the new leadership of Donald Trump.
Well, let's hope that the violence stops, because it's most unpleasant for everyone. Chris Cox, Bikers for Trump, thanks for joining us, sir. We'll see you again.
Notice he called him out. He called the Antifa out. You see what I'm saying? Like, and he made some excellent points about the police standing down. I mean, it goes against every fiber of their being. But what I say, why don't we catch the mayors and the that are telling the officers to stand down and throw them in the middle of all this? That would have been a nice sight to see. And meanwhile, the officers are standing